boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 7.3, Mental Math. The materials that you'll need today, notebook paper, pencil, and your math journal. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 165. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for question number 1, 24 children, 6 in each row, draw an array. So you can see that I made a 6 by 4 row or 6 by 4 array. So I know that there are 4 rows and there are 0 children left over. For question 2, I'm adding the numbers 15, 13, and 12 for a total of 40 animals. For question 3, fill in the missing numbers. So if I start at 908, I know 1 less is 907. Then I have 917, 10 more would be 927, and then 1 more would be 928. For question 4, draw a line of symmetry on this triangle. So your line of symmetry should have looked just like that. For question 5, find the rule, complete the table. So looking at from 193 to 183, I can see that my rule is minus 10. So then when I had 441 minus 10, I would have 431. When I was given 346, I needed to do the opposite. I needed to add to get 356 for my in. Then I chose to have 455 in my in, and then subtracting 10, I would have 445 in my out. And your last row might look very different than mine, and that's okay. For question number 6, you should have shaded it or saw that there was B. Half of the circle was shaded. Choice B. So again, double check to make sure you have your page correct before moving on to the next slide. Please use your notebook paper or whiteboard and marker if available to write down the answers from the next slides. If the speed is ever too fast, pause as often as needed. For our first question, if you can write down the answer to 15 plus 14 plus 6. Press pause and play when you're ready to check. So for this one, I know that 14 plus 6 would be 20 because 4 plus 6 would get me to my next 10. And then 20 plus 15 more would bring me to 35. Let's try another one. 5 plus 13 plus 7. Press pause and play to check. So I know 13 plus 7 is 20, plus 5 more would bring me to 25. How about 12 plus 6 plus 4 plus 8? Press pause and play to check. For this one, I know that 12 plus 8 is 20, and I know 6 plus 4 is 10. 20 plus 10 brings me to 30. How about 12 plus 17 plus 8? Press pause and play to check. So I know that 12 plus 8 is 10, and then 12 plus 8 is 20, and then 20 plus 17 more would bring me to 37. We have one more problem like this. 4 plus 9 plus 16 plus 11. Press pause and play to check. So this time, if I have 4 plus 16, I know that's 20. And if I have 9 plus 11, that's also 20. 20 plus 20 would bring me to 40. We'll work more on problems like this later on in our lesson. All right, so we'll put our notebook or our whiteboard away and then take out our math journal and open up to page 168. So 168 looks like this, where we're writing our own multiplication stories and drawing pictures of the stories. And you can use the pictures on the side of the page for your ideas. So I'll talk about the example first. So there are 5 tricycles. How many wheels in all? So notice how they came up with their story. They wrote the words, then they drew a picture, and then they solved for their answer. So we know that 5 times 3, or I could count by threes 5 times, so I could think 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, but I have a total of 15 wheels. So could you come up with a story You can use some of these pictures if you'd like, and then draw a picture and solve, press pause, and then play when you're ready to check. All right, second graders, if you'd like to use a story that I have, that's fine too. So this is what I have for number 1. I have that there are 3 cars, how many wheels in all? If you want to use that story, press pause and write down your question and then solve, and then press play when you're ready to check. All right, so this is what my picture is. So I have my 3 cars, and so I'm thinking 3 times 4 because I know that each car has 4 wheels. So I could either skip count or I could add, but I have my answer of 12. So I have 12 wheels. Do the same thing for number 2. Press pause if you haven't completed that one yet. If you would like to use the same story that I have, this is the story I chose. There are 5 juice packs. How many cans in all? Press pause if you'd like to use this story and then play to check. So there are 5 juice packs in all. I drew a picture of my 5 juice packs, and I know that there's 6 cans in each. So I'm thinking about that number model, 5 times 6. So I could count by 5s 6 times, and I know that I would have 30. So my answer was 30 cans. And again, maybe your page looks similar if you use the same stories. Otherwise, your page might look very different, and that's okay. The last thing that we'll talk about in this video are our math boxes. So if you can open up your journal to page 169, I'll talk about the directions. When you're all done, take a picture and add that picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher, and we will go over this page in our next video. So for our first question, which one is impossible? Choose the best answer. I will write a letter to a friend. I will eat a piece of cake. The sun will shine. A fish will live out of water. For question 2, you're solving, and then don't forget about your unit. For question 3, draw 5 fish bowls and 2 fish in each bowl, and then how many fish in all? For question 4, arrange the number of pets in order from the minimum, or the smallest number, to the maximum, the largest number, and then tell me what the minimum is and the maximum. For question 5, 1 bag of sugar weighs 5 pounds. 6 bags of sugar weigh how many pounds? And then circle the trapezoid that has 1/3 shaded and make sure that each of the 3 pieces are divided equally. All right, I'll see you next time.